What's up, guys? How's it going? They are just now starting. We have obviously Chris versus Chris. Chris Bulop is playing a Eveltal Zoroark Gallade, like we've seen many times already on here, and Chris Nagel is playing a Turbo Houndoom, from what I've seen, or from what I've read, actually. Someone posted the top eight pairings on Burbank City, and so I saw that there's a Speed Houndoom. I'm like, this has to get played. Like, Speed Houndoom, that sounds sweet. So I have really no idea what this deck is or what it's about. So I'm really interested to see it go. See him playing the Biocompressor to discard a couple Fire Energy, assuming he has the Blacksmith or he will be using Blacksmith to just get going. Um, just looking through his deck first thing right now. Discarding two Fire Energy so far. It's gonna get rid of a third card. Looks like he was pondering between Judge and the third Fire Energy. So he does discard the two Fire Energies in the Judge. That's just about a compressor. Looks like he has a Hoopa. Probably gonna get. Can only assume another Houndoom, maybe a Shaman, maybe a second Houndoom. I don't know what all he plays in this deck. It's a real interesting deck, and I'm still. Oh, can I turn this way? Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. That's a camera up. Is that a camera up? That is a camera up. Apparently, it's camera up Houndoom. Sorry, guys. I hope you guys can still hear me. I've been told to quiet down because, like, everybody that was here just left, so there's a whole lot less background noise, so people can't hear me. Um, hold on, guys. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. Oh man, he got three energies in turn one, so he did have the blacksmith, so he was able to get three energies onto the camera up first turn. Looks like Chris just Fulop. We'll just say Chris and Fulop to differentiate because many people amongst the community know him as Fulop, so that's what we'll just call Chris Fulop as Fulop. Um, camera up, I'm pretty sure does 50 times the number of fire energy you discard from your field altogether, I think. So that's pretty good. So far, if he discarded all of his energies, it'd be 150 discarded. Uh, Fulop transmute for the Sycamore and is now Ultra Balling, discarding a Dark Energy, and I don't know what the other energy was. Pretty sure he has that Eveltal. Um, sorry. I will be right back, guys. I'm going to hand you guys over to Jimmy for a little bit. I guess I'm needed elsewhere.
Alright, so it looks like Chris did some sort of deck search, I'm not sure. Oh, he Ultra Balled, okay. And now he's going to Sycamore for 7 cards. Off of an empty hand, that's amazing. 0 cards to 7 cards. Alright, so it looks like Chris passes his turn. No energy to be able to Oblivion Wing, so Alright, so we see Chris play a Mega Turbo? Or no, I'm sorry, he's playing Trainer's Mail. Looking at the top 4 cards of his deck, picking a trainer. Seems pretty good. Alright, so we see a Lysander for the benched Zorua. Mega Evolution into Mega Houndoom on Chris's bench. We can see a setup by Chris for 2 cards, it looked like. So Chris is thinking what to do. It looks like he's got 4 pokes on the bench, so he's got 1 more bench spot open. He's going to attach a float stone to the camera out. And looks like he's rolling for an attack on the Camerupt that's not the discarding attack. So I'll have to look that up and see what that does. Alright, so Camerup's first attack does 30, and then if you flip a coin or roll a die, and if heads, it does 30 more damage. Alright, so we see a benched Evil Tall EX and an Acrobike. So we're going to see what he decides to take off that Acrobike. Discards an Acrobike and attaches some tool to the benched Evil Tall. And we see another support, or another Professor Juniper Sycamore for another 7 cards. Alright, so we see him evolve the active Zorua into a Zoroark. We're going to see another Acrobike. And off that Acrobike, he discards a Shaman. He takes a Trainer's Mail. So we're going to look at the top 4 and take a Battle Compressor. We see an attached, the benched Evil Tall EX. And we see another benched Baby Evil Tall. It looks like he attacks with a Mind Jack for, I believe it does 10 plus 30 for each bench, so we're looking at 130 damage. Yeah, Mind Jack does 10 plus 30 for each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So we see an Ultra Ball by Chris. He searches his deck for a Pokemon. Decides to take a Shaman. What does it mean to be 402 and 411? Those are their records. The first number refers to their wins, the second their losses, and the third their ties. Starting, I think it's been about 2 years now. ties were introduced back into Pokemon TCG. And the way that happens is as if a round ends before a clear winner is decided. That is, a player doesn't deck out, doesn't run out of benched Pokemon, or doesn't draw all six of their prizes. Then a tie is awarded to both players, and um, each player basically gets a point towards their record. A win counts as 3 points, a loss counts for 0 points, and a tie counts for 1. So we see Chris uh, attack and take 2 prizes, discarding. Looks like he discarded 4 energies, I'm assuming. And then that special fire energy that was introduced in this set actually, upon being discarded by an attack, actually becomes reattached. So once he discarded it, he was allowed to reattach it. Alright, so we see a battle compressor from full up, and he's gonna discard. Looks like he's thinking about getting rid of a Maxie's. I see a Maxie's, maybe another battle compressor. In fact, maybe 2 battle compressors. I can't really tell though. So we see yet another Sycamore from Full Up. That's his 3rd one of the game, if I'm counting correctly. And we see an Oblivion Wing to the benched Eviltall. It looks like it's the new Eviltall, not the Oblivion Wing Eviltall, but the other one. Alright, so we see a trainer's mail from Chris. He's going to look at the top 4.
Pokemon. Video game players, your pairings for the next round are up.
And he selects a Lysander off of that trainer's mail. Seems pretty good. It seems like Chris has this game pretty much exactly where he wants it. So we see a Flare energy attached to the benched Houndoom, and 2 Mega Turbos, which allows him to attach 2 basic energies from his discard to any Mega Pokemon, i.e. the Mega Houndoom. And he's going to Lysander up that benched Zoroark and attack. And for the record, the Mega Houndoom's attack, for those of you who aren't aware, it's called Inferno Fang. It does 80, and then if you discard all the fire energy attached to this Pokemon, it does an additional 80 damage. So we're still waiting for Full Up to promote a Pokemon. For those of you who don't know, the turn cannot commence until both players have an active Pokemon. So he does promote the Oblivion Wing Eviltall without any energy on it, and draws for his turn.
All right, video game players.
So he attaches a
It's round number
Dark
3.
from his hand and a
And
Muscle
today,
Band.
instead of raffles, it's trivia time!
Benches another Eviltall
Yay!
and Lysanders
And
of
our special
Bashan.
contestants, all of you! Woo! All right. I'm going to grab some volunteers to help pick out our prizes. So
All right, so it looks like
you gonna help
the
me out?
video game
All right, so we
players are
have.
doing a raffle trivia thing. So I'm actually going to mute the microphone because I'm right next to the speaker. But go ahead and keep watching the game, and as soon as they're done, I'll come back and finish the match. All right? So we'll see you in a bit, guys. Simeo, he actually doesn't have to discard the fire. He has the opportunity, and if he does, the attack does an additional 80 damage. But he only needed 80 damage to knock out the active, so he decided to not discard so that he could discard those at a later time. And for Red Hen, there is a Pokemon card game. It's called Pokemon Trading Card
All right.
Online.
So I got
It's
two mana
available
whites.
for
So we have Alex
iOS,
and we have
and it's
Dan.
also available on
Yay!
Mac and Windows. Again, so they're
So
doing
they're going to
the
help me figure out
raffle,
who
so I am
raised
going
their
to
hand
mute
the
the microphone,
fastest.
and we'll see you in a
What's
bit.
going to happen?
All right, so we're back. Chris Nail was able to pull out a win in that first game, so now we're going on to game two. For those of you who aren't aware, in Top Cut, games are played best of three. So even if a player loses their first game, they still have a chance to win the match. So Chris has his base or his active Pokemon and a benched Pokemon, and we're still waiting for Full Up to find a basic. All right, Chris. Oh yeah. Full Up's gonna put out his 6 prizes, and they're gonna shake, and we're gonna start. So it looks like Full Up started with a Shaman, and Chris started with a Houndoom. 2 Houndooms, 1 active and 1 on the bench. Um, we also see that Chris decided to go, or Full Up decided to go first. That's the other thing about best of 3. Um, when a player loses, they are allowed to determine who goes first. Alright, so we see Chris Full Up Battle Compressor multiple times. This time he's getting rid of a Dark Energy, a Battle Compressor, and I can't tell what that other card is. It might be an additional Battle Compressor. We see an Acrobike from Full Up, discarding a Muscle Band. We can assume that he's going for that turn 1 Maxis, because he's really trying to thin out that hand. So we see him Ultra Ball for a Zorua. And that he's got a Muscle Band, and then that last card is a VS Seeker for the discarded Maxis, so he can get his Gallade back. So he benches the Gallade and draws 5 cards from his Maxis.
You got this.
Mhm. We see an Ultra Ball, and maybe, an Unknown. So he's gonna probably bench the Unknown and discard it so he can draw a card. Actually, he's probably going to bench it and then use his Premonition. Looks at the top 5 cards and rearrange them however he wants. So we see him put a Dark Energy on top, and then he's gonna bench that Unknown and discard it to draw into that Dark Energy. Seems like a pretty decent combo. Attaches a Darkness Energy to the Zorua and passes. So we see a Trainer's Mail from Chris. Hey TKD Adam, how's it going? Takes a Judge. And immediately plays it. So Chris may not know what that top card was, if it was the energy or not, but he can assume that it was either the energy or that he just shuffled it back into full up's deck. So that's a pretty good strategy right there. Each player is going to draw 4 cards. Okay, so we see a Spirit Link from Chris and an Ultra Ball. He's going through and counting his deck. This is his first search, so he's just making sure all of the cards that he needs are in there, and he's going to take a Shaman, shuffle on up, and then set up for 6 cards. It's always a good time when you can draw cards for the max amount that you can, either 7 cards off of a Sycamore and not having to discard anything, or 6 cards off of a Shaman. Alright, so we see the 6 cards. Another Trainer's Mail. He's going to look at the top 4 again. And he's going to take another Spirit Link.
So that's why I call him Morgan, because I don't have to differentiate.
Chris is thinking, but it looks like he might be stuck for the turn. Oh no, I'm sorry, he passed. You see full up attached to the benched Evil Toll and play a Sycamore for 7 cards. Hey Flo Flo, how's it going?
Why?
You see an Ultra Ball from full up. Gonna go in and search for a Pokemon. He's gonna get a Shaman. Now playing that Shaman will fill up the last spot on his bench. Oh, and he passes. No, I'm sorry, he doesn't pass. I saw him offer his hand, so I just wanted to make sure. He was just offering a cut. Andrew Mahone is here. He went in at second seed. He's actually playing Kim right now.
It never misses when you need it. It never misses when you need it.
And now we see Chris full up pass. Looks like he's playing a VS Seeker. It's one of the old VS Seekers. So he's going to get back that Judge Shuffle, and everybody's going to draw 4 again. Again, it's a pretty good strategy by Chris because he knows that Full Up did draw into that, or did Ultra Ball for that Shaman, and did not bench it, so he knows that it's in his hand. So rather than giving him the opportunity to use it next turn, he does decide to judge it back into his deck. Alright, we see a Silent Lab from Chris. For those of you that don't know, Silent Lab does shut off abilities for basic Pokemon. So that even if Chris were to draw into, or even if Full Up were to draw into that Shaman, he's unable to play it, or he's able to play it, but not able to get the effect of the setup ability.
It is. That's why I like to use them at
That doesn't look like a reverse versus seeker. It's just one of the old ones. Alright, so we see full up Oblivion Wing, attach an energy, and then Chris starts his turn with a Sycamore. Draws 7 cards. Well, he's found all of his fire energy, it looks like. Looks like he's been having some problems getting energy this game. And now he's actually finally drawn into some and is able to play it.
All right.
We see a Battle
Trading card
Compressor
game
from Chris.
seniors. Our finalist. Our
Discards a
runner-up.
fire energy.
Alex Simcoe. Yay!
Trying to see what's in his discard, so
And
he
your
needs to
grand
know if he
champion,
needs to
Alex Mullen. Yay!
what to discard.
Great job,
Discards a
both of you
fire
guys.
energy and a Lysander. And we see a teammates also go into the discard. Oh, it says FRLG, Fire Red Leaf Green. I did not catch that, I'm sorry. Uh, Ben Ballard, Frank Diaz is not here. So we see a DZ get attached to the new Evil Tall. I'm actually going to look that up. I'm not sure what the new Evil Tall does. Alright, it has the ability Fright Night. As long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, each Pokemon tool card in play has no effect. That's pretty good. And it does Pitch Black Spear for 60 damage. And this attack does 60 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon EX. Seems pretty good in this matchup, because I'm pretty sure that's all Chris plays is Pokemon EXs. Alright, so it looks like Chris is counting how many cards are left in Philip's deck. Unfortunately, it does not look like Chris is in a good position in this game. You know, he took off with the last game, but this one just doesn't seem to be having the same effect, so to speak. So it looks like Chris might be trying to stall right now. He Lysanders up the benched Zorua and passes. Oh, oh no, he's trying to deck out full up. He's using the Houndoom's attack that discards the top 2 cards of his opponent's deck.
There's none on the table. Yeah. Not for. Well, I mean, I told the game I'm just not for today or for second.
Hi there. Alright, so sorry about that, guys. We see Chris via Seeker and draw 3 cards. I'm honestly not sure what happened there, but he does attach and retreat the Zorua, bringing up that Evil Tall again. Attaches a Muscle Band, so now he's doing 80 to the active and 60 to a bench DX.
Video game players, your round 4 pairings are up. Video game players, your round 4 pairings are up.
I'm steadily moving up. I was at table 10. It's your DS, not mine. Now I'm at table 8.
Chris seems like he's pretty stuck right now. Looks like we see an Ultra Ball. Searching for another Houndoom.
Come on, Wesley!
Unfortunately, Chris doesn't have a way to heal that. So he's going to AZ. Oh, he is. He's going to AZ that Shaman back into his hand. Seems pretty good. And discards the top 2 of Chris Full Up's deck. Oh, this is going to be real close, guys. It looks like Full Up might only have 2 cards left in deck, and if that's the case, I don't think he has a way to one-shot
All right, video
Chris's
game players.
Houndoom.
Before we start the next round, a guest of analysis make from the Kent State Pokemon League. KSPL gym leaders are accepting gym challenges. So if after you finish your game, you want to challenge a fun game, go ahead and see the KSPL league leaders. We got a couple right here. They just go up to them, ask for a battle, and they'll set things up from there. If you win, you get a cool badge. Ooh. Yeah, if you want to see what the badges look like, they're sitting out over on the table right next to the Pokemart. Speaking of Pokemart, if you want to help out the Kent State Pokemon League as well, all proceeds from the sales of anything in the Pokemart today do just go to the
Full Up
KSPL towards
attaches
their future events.
DCE.
So please help them out for helping us out with this beautiful venue they gave us. Also, if anyone here goes to Kent State,
So we see
KSPL is
via
currently
Seeker,
accepting applications for gym leaders.
and
You have
he's
to be
gonna
a current
look
Kent State
for
student to sign up. You get your own gym badge and get to be more involved in the league. So come talk to those guys over by the Pokemart or any of them for league battles, and they can give you more
gets a
information.
Giovanni.
And we have a raffle prize. Door prize. At AJ Events, I like to reward you if you have your player D when you register. It makes things go so much smoother.
Playing the Giovanni, he
Everyone
did.
did
I
have
do
their
believe
player
he
D
did
today,
get enough
so as soon as this
damage to
tournament's
knock
finished,
out
I'm going to upload
the
it.
Houndoom.
So, you have a chance
So we
to
are
win
going to go into a third game.
this Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire Lunchbox Tin. Ooh. It's filled with goodies, Pokemon goodies.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, he did not have enough damage. So
All right.
looks
And our
like Chris
winner.
is the winner here. Chris Nagel.
Hold on, I need the Rock Gym leader over here.
And he
Rock
is
Gym
going to move
leader.
on into
You
the
gotta
top
pick our
4.
winner. No paper, scissors, just rock. Is the winner.